Welcome back to you, Butterscotch Biscuit. So recently, like a week or so ago, I made some threads and I just highlighted to you lessons that we have to learn from sacrifice phases, because this is the time to learn, friends. You don't learn in the euphoria. No one's learning anything. This is why I call this to attention now. Now, also, I noticed a lot of people, they were misinterpreting my videos, my comments. They're saying, well, this sounds like FUD. No, it doesn't sound like FUD, friends. The only people who think anything I say is FUD are people who wanted to sell in the short term. Those are the people who think it's FUD. Why? Because they're not really believers. Because they're like, oh, I wanted like a quick 5 or 10x to get out and dump on these suckers. That's how they think, okay? So none of what I say is FUD. What's interesting I found as well is simply me posting a chart and saying, hey, well, you know, Ethereum was up 35x in 200 days. We're down 38%. For example, just like different comparisons like that. People are like, well, this sounds like FUD. No, it's not FUD. It's reality, friends. You get kicked in the nuts. Now, what's the next move? Do you place both of your hands on your head? That's what some of you are doing. I'm going to place both of my hands on my nuts, because I don't want to get kicked in my nuts for the second time. Okay, now the PulseChain stats are still looking great. You know, so PulseX, the buy and burn is still working. By the time you see it, 2.5, 6N, 2.8, above 2.8%, it's still going great. Okay, HEX still working. PulseChain over 6 months old. Yes, all these things still work, but the prices. Everyone's like, yeah, the prices. What's going on? Okay, well, maybe how we perceive valuations were wrong. And not just a little bit wrong at the start. We're like wildly wrong. We're like, well, the growth rates and how early we think we are, maybe we just got to adjust for them. And I've told you many examples, friends. Like I've told you, yeah, in 2017, your $5,000 was next to a $50,000 whale. But now your $5,000 is next to a guy with 2.25 million. He's like 400x bigger than you, like even more bigger, all right? So these are the things we got to work with. But there's also a lot of content creators with a loud megaphone in the HEX and PulseChain, PulseX ecosystem. So even though we're looking at these different things, you have to just try to look at it in terms of probabilities. At some point, euphoria strikes. Now, if you think euphoria is not possible in Bitcoin under $100,000, I tell you, you're a dead man walking. You're a dead squirrel walking, all right? So you got to look at other coins. For example, Chainlink. People are not selling under $200 to $400. Is it possible that Euphoria comes at $50? Yes. I love Chainlink. So I'm telling you, HEX, everybody wants to sell $2. Is it possible Euphoria comes at 20 cents? Yes, it is. Why isn't it possible? You just saw what happened in the past 2 years. But still, we have to push on, because you get these little glimmers of hope and you get to see, wait a minute. The fundamentals, look, we're just too cheap. We're just way too cheap. They should be going better. They're not going better. Why? Maybe you just need a repricing. That's it. You need Bitcoin and Ethereum higher. Look what happened when the Heist of Stakes movie come out. Altcoin Daily, okay? Altcoin Daily, the biggest YouTube channel in crypto. 1.5 million plus subs. Very big influence and reach. They made a whole post dedicated to the HEX movie, okay? I said it's a step in the right direction. All right, now, PulseChain ecosystems still very down. Also, I want to remind you, all right, a lot of people, they'll say, well, Pulse is doing well. Yes, my sacrifice for Pulse is doing well compared to everything else. Unfortunately, what we found out, why is Pulse doing well? Oh, because it took value out of HEX. It diluted it away, all right? Now, we're hoping that the growth rates overpower them in the future, but this is still a good step in the right direction, you know? It's the Altcoin Daily. I streamed the RH documentary. I liked it. Slick, professional production, right? Overall, great story. By the way, notice, friends, the first part. If you make anything slick and high-tier production, it doesn't even matter what the content is most of the time, right? So that's what I'm telling you. In crypto, there's another principle like that. If you have 180 people talking about something, it doesn't even matter if you're the best. It doesn't even matter. You just got a very big, loud megaphone, because it's about Metcalfe's law and the network effect. We know this. How do we know this? Because you got a friend, you like, subscribe, belly button. No, I've told you this so many times, all right? But hey, the prices still go down. That's why I've told you I buy more. Other people don't. It is what it is. So they talk about, the story arc, the characters. Also, as a crypto person, I was loving it. The directors, the creators put a lot of effort. It wasn't a puff piece. They presented both sides. Is HEX a scam? Is Richard Hart a cult leader? Have all the Hexagon and PulseChain people been fooled? Of course, you look at this, but here's the thing, friends. We're clutching straws here now, because I'm just going to remind you, what were we talking about a year ago? All right, we'll be honest. We were talking about the movie would usher in demand. That's why, friends, I'm trying to help you here, okay? Because I live this with you too, all right? I don't want you to get crushed. You're my followers. You give me your time. You give me a friendship. You put your right hand on my left shoulder. We confirmed it. We confirmed friendship. What were the narratives they were throwing at our faces? Now, we all invented these narratives, but we saw that, people believed, hey, the HEX movie is going to ramp up and everything's going to be pumping and it's going to get more adoption and people are going to find out more about HEX. We thought people who buy after the movie, after all this evidence of strong fundamentals and the cult and crypto, after all of these, we thought those people would have to pay a premium. Unfortunately, what happens is all those people on the sidelines get to spit on our faces and say, hey, you're an idiot. I get to buy after you with all these strong fundamentals. I get a cheaper price. All right. Now, if you're new to the game, welcome, take a seat over there. Some people will say, hey, it was the SEC, the corrupt SEC. Well, I would say not really, because this damage was already done before the corrupt SEC. Now, you have to be fair. It's a combined HEX price. It's not really that price, but you get the point. Like if the corrupt SEC, if it was still one HEX coin, the price would be exactly here. Okay, it wouldn't have gone down because you still have the combined value, and I've equated the market caps. All right, so you're buying the low. All right, so this is just the game, friends. I can't tell you any other way. It's just, there's a game. We didn't make it. The universe makers made it. Yeah, you get kicked in the nuts. You fall off the horse. You got to get back up. It is what it is. Do you plan to be better next time? Yes, that's what I do. Others want to sit here and cry. What am I doing to plan for next time? Well, increase bag size, lower returns. That's what I'm doing, right? I'm also doing other things. For example, I've told you about my ratios, my ratio trades, friends. All you got to do is you got to invert HEX and Pulse chart, right? And I want to see, okay, is there a way for me to accelerate the HEX gains? Now, I'll be honest. If I could see a giant big path where everyone makes 500x, yeah, you wouldn't need to touch it. But clearly, you've been sent these messages that something is going on. Well, golly gee, I mean, I was already prepared for this a while ago. It's just unfortunate. Even my lower expectations from before had to get lowered again. But you got to look at this. You got to take it seriously, because look, Altcoin Daily, there's no Litecoin movie. There's no Polkadot movie. Do you know what I mean? It's a HEX movie, and it's still around. So these are strengths, man. Hey, a minus 99% drop couldn't kill us. That's a strength. However, you got to be honest. You got to think, all right, well, how much of our gains moves off Bitcoin? Because now Bitcoin's the target. All right, that's the big thing to think about, friends. As you get bigger, I know a lot of us want to say market cap doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter. Market cap reflecting the size. Yes, you might look at your individual number, but the real circulating market cap that you can calculate after blurring everything out, it does matter. The bigger you get, the more you correlate to Bitcoin and Ethereum, which means you're fundamentally tied to their hip, which fundamentally, if they diminish gains, most likely you will too, unless you break the barrier. You really got to innovate. Now, PulseX's buy and burn and PulseChain, absolutely nothing to do with like top tier groundbreaking innovation in terms of like how far can we push the envelope, right? It's just we're tweaking something that is already done. And hey, that might be good enough for some people, but to get your 500x, 1000x, friends, you really got to be in something new. And hey, when are those new coins coming? I don't know, 2024? Maybe we'll see if anything new comes out. I hope we're able to participate in them. And I know, man, a lot of you guys, look, we're just sitting here. I'm like, dude, like, friends, look at the engagement, man. 360 likes. We got thousands of views. Every single post, friends, I'm posting like 100 times a day. They all get insane engagement. No one cares about these other coins. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Did we make too many dum-dums, whales from the start? These are the questions you just got to think about I don't know what the future holds, but only one way to find out, right? Because really, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Sell everything? You can, but just being honest with you, okay? It doesn't matter what coin it is. Bitcoin. So, friends, this is the funny part. All my lessons here, they are the exact same thing for Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's just that this is the funny part. It's funny, it's sad too. Okay, Bitcoin people, they give 0% chance that Bitcoin stops under 100K. Zero. They might even write negative numbers. Negative % chance. That's how confident they are that they are going to get their entitled retirement where Bitcoin flips gold and it never has downside volatility and you just win. Okay. Ethereum people tied to the hip of Bitcoin as well from the liquidity bonding, same thing. Okay. So when I'm looking at these types of strategies, I'm not saying we specifically suck and everyone else is awesome. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is none of us are powerful enough to shoot beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum because our market caps are too big. That's what I'm saying. Now, there are coins out there that will do it. For example, Casper does like this unicorn run 300x and etc. But finding them, very hard. Like it's not even worth punting because there's thousands of coins. How are you going to pick them? Okay, so it's a warn you, right? Praying for higher prices. If you got a Bitcoin maxi portfolio, praying for 250K, praying for 500K. If you're in Ethereum, praying for an ETH flipping 12K Ethereum, 10K Ethereum, praying for them and listening to the mega bull targets is not a strategy. Okay, that's not a strategy. Praying for that, I'll tell you right now, because you can't actually affect. When's Jim Cramer gonna say he's euphoric now? Right? What if Jim Cramer says, "I woke up with morning wood for the first time in 2 decades"? But you're like, wait a minute, but Bitcoin's only like 84,000. How did you wake up with morning wood? You see, are you prepared for that? You can't rewind time. So you need a better move. One, you can either accept, okay, number one, actually, increase your bag size. That's actually the best thing to do. Get another job, get a second job, sell stocks, rotate in. Do you have more Bitcoin or Ethereum to convert? Do you have any cash? Can you like dunk out of your savings and then replenish your savings from your job in the next 6 months? Can you increase your bag size and any airdrops you can do? Any of these, friends? Do you have a second car? Can you downgrade? Whatever it is, increase your bag size is the number one thing to do while people are still scared and depressed. I'm still seeing a lot of depression. Once I start sniffing their chairs and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of excitement out there. I've sniffed this chair for a long time. I'm telling you right now, that means prices are bad to buy. They're good to hold and watch, but they're bad to buy. But that's the sad part because now you can't affect your future anymore. You understand? That's why it's sad now when the candles go down. But when the candles go down, guess what? You can still impact your future by accumulating and sucking it up. When prices go up, right, it's gamble mode. You've already spun the roulette machine. You've already spun the slot machine. It's like it's up to fate now. And now we love speculating on what our fate's going to be, but you can't actually do anything, right? You can't even impact your future, all right? That's why we're still going to crank it. That's why when everyone's crying, friends. When everyone's crying, every dollar you can squeeze goes a long way, all right? Now, if you can't do that, and I know, look, I don't blame you. A lot of people say, hey, man, I put my money into sacrifice phases. I bought HEX or other coins. I'm down, man. I've got nothing left. I've got absolutely nothing left. I can't do anything whatsoever. I'm down. I've got no kidneys left. All right. You have to look at World B. World B is you just accept lower returns. That's it. There's nothing we can do. All right. There's nothing we can do. And please, I'm warning you right now because this will happen. Mark my words. Okay. Mark my words. Bitcoin people, when Bitcoin disappoints again, eventually, after it gives us hope, what they're going to do is they're going to do some imaginary BS time and they're going to go, hey, golly gee, from 2020, 2021, Bitcoin is still up. Like, let's say it's at 2026. It's up 60%. All right. And they're like, wow, if you annualize 60% over 4 years you get like 12% per year. But the stock market only gave 7%. So we're still beating the stock market. So once again, what they will do is they'll move the goalposts. And you will be shocked at what they're saying. You're like, bro, double-digit gains? Are you serious? I came here for a 10x, buddy. I came here for 1,000%. And then you're going to learn, friends, the hard way about why Jessie Livermoore blew his freaking brains out. All right? From Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, one of the greatest stock trading books ever. He says, man, the market is not reliable. So don't rely on it for income. Don't rely on it for yield. That's what he's basically, he's speaking to us from 100 years ago. Jessie Livermoore gets a gun, gets a revolver, walks into a hotel level, blows his brains out. He made $1 billion, lost $1 billion, made $1 billion, lost $1 billion, made $1 billion, lost $1 billion. He's like, that's it, I'm blowing my brains out. He says, man, the market is not reliable. Your yield, what you think you're entitled to, these people, do you think they're constants? But they're not. The only thing that's constant is that it's a game and there's constantly moving targets. That's the only constant here. If all of this scares you, click sell and leave. All right? You click sell and leave. But you know I'm speaking to your heart here because you know, oh man, something's going on, right? How come we've made more tech, more adoption, more news meter, more everything, yet we're poorer? Something's not going on right, you know? Like, how come the fundamentals have been going down for like this long and this far? Most people in the other poop coins, friends, they're not depressed yet because they still think they're going to get an all-time high break of a 3x, all right? I'm not going to name any of the other coins like Cardano, XRP, Doge. People holding, they still think that. That's why they're still hopeful. I can see the light. And it's dark for most of them. Say, well, you know what? Instead of making all these rocket emoji targets, which is what we love doing, instead of that, you should have been buying more. The market gave you 2 years, man. Investing is hard, friends. I know you like it hard. Family-friendly show. 95% of people fail whilst holding too. So that's it. What are you doing, man? What are you doing with your time? Are you increasing your bag size? Are you eating ramen noodles, living in a cardboard box? That's what I'm doing. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. Don't forget to love your friends. Catch you soon.